Hey guys, just a bit of a random video today. So I've been watching YouTube over the weekend and I have noticed quite a lot of resellers have been out going to TK Maxx and there's a clearance and everything. I could have gone this morning but I chose not to. The car boot also wasn't on and I've got a day to myself today when my partner is out with her friend and I wanted to crack on with some stuff. I've got a video to make. I've also got a few other things that I want to test, list, etc. So I wasn't going to go out anywhere and it got to about 4 o'clock and I'm quite bored. The football's finished and I thought, why not go to TK Maxx? So I've got an hour and a half to get there and back. So by the time I get in there, I'll probably have about 45 minutes, maybe an hour to look around. So let's see what I can find. So I've just pulled up, I'm about to go shopping. I think I'm going to hit CeX first and maybe Game, and then we'll go to TK Maxx last, as I don't know how long I'm going to spend in there. Usually I can go in TK Maxx and spend upwards of like 45 minutes, an hour, and it's never enough. I've got so much stuff in there that you can just spend forever looking. So yeah, we'll hit up CeX first and then TK Maxx after. Also, I forgot to say, I've just bought these clip-on mics, which everyone's been requesting for a long time on my channel, which I understand, but they are quite expensive. So this cost me about 85 quid, so these are one of the better ones. So let's hope the quality is decent and I'll try and start using them from now on. So up first, I believe this is the Blue Cross, and there's not really much in here. As you can see, there's a jewellery section there. Straight to the clothing, that's where I like to go first, and flicking through, there just really wasn't much here. But I always like to go through the clothing first. I never really look at the women's clothing, to be honest. I don't really know enough about it, and also it's a bit weird if you just, a random guy just walks in and starts rummaging through the women's clothes. If I go with my girlfriend, I sometimes get her to have a look for me. Over here then we've got some toys, and you've got the books, and then there's the Blu-rays. So there was no video games in this shop at all, I don't think. I think it was the next one, there was a couple of video games. We've got some board games here. Buckaroo, I remember that one. Obviously £3, I don't really know if that's worth it. It might be an expensive game, but you don't know if all the parts are in there, and I can't be bothered to rummage through the shop and have a look, so I left that one. More clothes here. I think this is the kids' clothes. There was nothing really in there. That was just a local team, so that shirt wasn't worth anything. And then this is a beauty. Look at this one, this old England vintage rugby shirt. Fortunately, it wasn't great condition. As you can see, there's a few cracks on the sponsor there, and it's a bit of an off-white colour, but it's still a cool find nonetheless. And then I thought this was quite interesting. There's this BBC Radio Sound 6 crew t-shirt, so someone that worked there has obviously donated that. And this was one of 2 video games. You've got the starter disc there and FIFA 11, so a bit slim pickings at the moment. Did find these kids' shoes as well. These were quite interesting. Nice leather made in England shoes. Not heard of that brand before. And then we move on to Cash Generator. So there's some video games in the window here. Now the prices aren't great. They're not that competitive, but there's a few decent titles. So then into Cash Generator, here's the Xbox One games. There wasn't a great selection, like there's a good selection there, like in terms of volume, but there wasn't many great games in there. Anything that was half decent was well priced in terms of CeX prices. They were either the same if not higher, so there's no real profit to be had. That Fast and Furious Showdown, I thought that was Fast and Furious Crossroads, which is an Xbox One game that got delisted off the store a few years ago. And then there's the PS4 games. Now up here I zoomed in a bit, so I apologise about the quality. They had some Switch stuff, but they were all really expensive, so those controllers were £30 each. This sealed PS4 game was nice, but I think it sells on eBay for £19.95 brand new, so no profit in that. And then we move on to Game. So Game was okay. It was really busy, so it was really hard to get footage in here, so I do apologise. There was a few decent games on sale. I'd have liked to have looked for a bit longer if I had more time, but I went up quite late. It was a bit of a last minute decision, so there wasn't really too much in there. The 2 for £20 on those Switch games I think has been on for ages. So in CeX then, some Vita titles here. Always nice to see Vita stuff. I've got all of these, but I love the Vita. And then there's just a few standout PS3 games here. So that Grand Theft Auto collection, that one's gone up, that's £20 at the moment. And then here we've got Back to the Future. Now on the PS4, this is like an £80 or £90 game. And then that's a nice cardboard sleeve there on Infamous. I don't think that's always been a separate price. Maybe it has. Sometimes CeX like to price things differently, other times you don't, so you can get a steelbook for the same price. That was a nice cover though, but I'm sure I've picked those up for as little as like £2.50 before. So to see that as £10 was quite a shock. This was cool. This was a £250 Borderlands collector's edition. Now I mainly just wanted the steelbook, but unfortunately I'm not spending £250 on that. I have a bit of an apology to make. So basically I have come out with low battery, so the footage is terrible, and I underestimated how busy it was going to be. All of the shops have been rammed, even though there's only like 45 minutes till it closes. So the footage is going to be really poor. There's a really cool new TV and movie store that's just been popped up in my town centre, which I didn't know about, never seen before. Looked really cool. Went to go in and it shuts at 5 and some guy was guarding the door. So that one failed, but we'll record that next time. But yeah, we're just in TK Maxx now. So let's see what little battery I've got, what footage I can get. Hey guys, welcome back to the garage. So let's go over everything that I picked up from town. So first off, I forgot to charge my phone, so I was trying to get some good footage, and unfortunately it was a load of crap because my phone was dying, so I had to limit the footage in each shop to try and pace it out, and obviously I only got a couple of seconds of each, so I do apologise about that. In terms of the TK Maxx clearance, which is kind of why I went into town, there wasn't a lot there. So I ended up picking some really good stuff up, but it wasn't anything that was in the clearance or anything that, you know, was meant to be really cheap. There was one thing that had a clearance sticker on it, but everything else was just their standard prices. But we made a good trip of it. I got some charity shop items. I went into CeX. I only found one game, and unfortunately there was a big queue. It was only £6 and it only sold for £11, and that's including postage, so I'd have only made like £2 on it after fees, so I didn't bother picking that one up. So I left that. There was nothing in game. And then I popped to obviously the two charity shops first. I did have a quick look in Cash Generator as well. There was a few nice games in the window, but the prices weren't really that great, so didn't pick anything up there. So two shops that I bought stuff from, so let's get into it straight away. So first item, a bit of a rogue one. This is, I picked this up just because the uniqueness of it. It's probably not worth anything, and it's probably going to take forever to sell. But this is a BBC Radio 6 music t-shirt. But this is for the crew. So as you can see there, it says crew on it. So someone's obviously volunteered or worked at this festival. I'm not sure what festival it is. Independent Venue Week, it says on it. So someone's obviously worked here and they've donated their t-shirt from it. But somebody, I'm sure, would like that. Somebody's probably attended the festival, or somebody, you know, listens to Radio 6, I don't know. But I thought that was quite an interesting item. That was only £3, so I'm happy to take a gamble on that. I would probably list it for like £15 to £20 just for the uniqueness of it. However, there's probably a very small pool of people that are going to be looking for something like that, so it'll probably linger for a while. The next item, a bit of a gamble in terms of condition, but not a gamble in terms of the price of the item. So this next one, I believe, just from random like memory, from like the Johnny Wilkinson era. I believe this is like 2005, 2006. And judging by the Nike label as well, but this is a old vintage England rugby shirt. Now unfortunately the sponsor on the front, as you can probably see there, it's a bit cracked and faded, a bit washed out, so unfortunately that will affect the price. And condition wise, it's not too great. It's a bit of an off-white colour. It's meant to be white. Obviously it's a rugby shirt, it's probably been used, it's probably been covered in mud and washed several times, so it's never going to be brilliant white unless it's brand new. But I think for £3 that's a good purchase. I haven't actually looked how much this goes for. If this was a football shirt and this was that sort of era of like a Premier League team or England team, you'd probably be looking about 30–40 quid. For the rugby, it's probably worth a bit less. So I would comfortably say £15 to £20, hopefully more. But let's say 15 to 20 on that one. And that was also £3. So £6 so far. And the last item was also £3. So we spent £9 in the charity shop. And this last one, pair of kids shoes. Probably not going to sell these for much profit, but they're really nice. They are made in England, so they're really nice leather shoes. They are called Smart Right, the brand. I've personally not heard of them myself. So other shoes were selling for around about £10 plus postage, and none of them were really looking as nice as this one in terms of the same brand. So you know, with the condition as well, unfortunately wedding season is kind of over, but at the same time there's weddings all year round, so they might sell. But if not, I'll be looking at selling these probably spring next year. So I could comfortably ask around £15 to start with and maybe lower it to 10 in the future, but I still think that's quite a good pickup for £3. And it was very slim pickings in the charity shop, as you'd expect. There was no games. I think there was FIFA 11 and PlayStation Move Starter Disc, which was the only game I could find. So yeah, not great in terms of video games. Movies and DVDs I don't really bother with. I don't really know what I'm looking for in terms of the expensive ones, and most DVDs and CDs are worthless, so don't bother looking through them really at the moment. So the next pickups then are from TK Maxx. So as I said, the sale or the clearance was a bit disappointing, but I did pick up some good stuff. So let's go with this one first. This is the clearance item. Could be a little bit of a fail on this one. So I like football stuff, as I mentioned before, so I would potentially keep this myself. It's a size large. It was in the men's section, and yeah, it was said £24.99 on the tag. It was originally £90, and there was a smaller size that was reduced to £22 on clearance. So I asked and they honoured it, and they said, yep, this will be £22 as well. Took it to the till. It's only when I scanned it through, the woman kind of radioed through and said, you know, can I reduce this? And she said, oh yeah, is it the ladies' Spain jacket? So then I was like, oh. So I got home, tried it on, and it is very small. So it's definitely a ladies. I found the label and it says 16 to 18. So unfortunately, that's going to reduce the number of people that are probably going to buy this, especially as Spain just beat England in the Euros as well. I don't think anyone really likes Spain on English territory at the moment. But it is reversible. It's quite a cool jacket. So you've got the red side with the Adidas logo and the Spain badge there, or you can have it the blue side. So a bit of a weird, quirky jacket. As I said, it's worth 90 quid, so I might be able to ask 35, 40. If it was a men's, I'd be asking for 50 or 60 on that one. But on the women's, I don't think it's going to sell for that much, so I'll gamble at 40 to 50 pound, and then I can always reduce it. So those are the charity shop and the first TK Maxx clearance item. Everything else is just normal prices, and they're all pretty much the same, so you'll see what I mean. There's a common theme. So I was looking, and recently from, I think it was not TK Maxx, Home Bargains, I went in there probably about 6 months ago, and they had cleared out all of their Mario or Super Mario movie figures. That had them all in, and they were selling them for £2.99, and they were originally £10 each, and they're only little 1-inch figures. TK Maxx have had them for a while, but they've been £5.99 or £4.99, so they kind of fluctuate on the prices. So I went in today and they were only £2.99 each. Sorry, they just toppled over then. So we've got Cat Mario, Shy Guy. I don't think I've got this one. So I've got a few of these already. I think I've got 6 or 7 different figures, and these will actually go with the set. So we've got Koopa Trooper as well. Sorry, Koopa Paratrooper, that one is. And the last one is Peach. So we've got 4. I did have 5 in the basket. One of them I noticed was ripped, and it was also £3.99, and it was the same figure as this one. But what I don't understand is they said it was a different pricing sticker. So even though it's the same item, it was £2.99. The other one was £3.99, and apparently it got sent in at different dates. So because it got sent in at a different date, it's a different price, which makes no sense. It's the exact same item. So yeah, so one was £2.99, one was £3.99, but the £3.99 luckily was ripped, so I passed that up. So those were £2.99 each, and then I found some more Super Mario movie figures, but these are the larger ones. So these should be 25 quid each in the shops, and these were £8.99. So we've got Mario, really nice high quality figure, and he's got his little what's it called, plumber thing. I don't know, the little suction thing. I forgot what they're called now. It'll come to me in a minute. Then we've got Super Mario movie. This is a fold-out van, so this is like a little play set. So you've got Super Mario movie van there, and then as you can see on the back, it's kind of like a Polly Pocket rip-off type thing, and then you've got a little 1-inch Mario figure that's included. So that was also £25 down to £8.99. I don't know if I'll sell these separately yet or all together. We'll see. I'm tempted to keep this one for my own personal collection. This is Toad. This is £8.99. Really like this one. I love Toad. And then the very last item, I've had these before. I paid £10.80 from Tesco for 4 of them, so I paid about 40 odd quid, and they sold on eBay for £65. That was a set of 4. This was £5.99, so obviously it was cheaper than the tenner one I paid. However, I've only got one, so this will be a bit harder to sell. So I reckon I could probably sell this for around about £12.50, maybe £13 plus postage, so probably about £15–16 all in. So not too much profit on that one. Unfortunately, that was the only one they had. I couldn't see any other figures. But these retailed at £18 in the UK, which is ridiculous if you think how small that figure is. And that bike, when you take it out of the packaging, you're not getting a lot of stuff in there. So for £18, those are really expensive. So yeah, that is everything. That is the haul. So I do apologise, it's a bit of a short one and I didn't get much footage, and I do apologise there weren't really much else in TK Maxx, but kind of glad there wasn't because my phone died anyway, so I wouldn't have been able to record it. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you on the next one. Like and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.